This is Dave, and today's big hairy idea is acting through omission. Something ugly happens in this week's Torah portion, Vayishlach. Jacob's daughter Dinah is abducted by this guy named Shechem, and he takes her, and he wants to keep her, he wants to marry her. But, of course, Jacob and his family are outraged that someone would just take her without her permission, without the family's permission, and do what he wants with her. And Shimon and Levi, Jacob's sons, come up with a plan. They tell Shechem, it's like, you know what? We can't marry our sister to somebody who's not circumcised. So if you and your community, they circumcise themselves, then you know what? We'll let you marry her, and we'll marry into your sisters and your daughters from your community, and we'll become one people. And they say, the people of the community look at these guys and look at Jacob's family and say, you know what? Wow, they're really well off. Everything they have will belong to us if we intermarry. Okay, we'll do it. They circumcise themselves, and Shimon and Levi, they go and they kill all the men of the community, the ones who had done the circumcisions at least. But there are more who hadn't, and then the whole family goes and runs before they can chase after them and exact revenge. What I find so fascinating about this story is the fact that it fell to Shimon and Levi to construct this whole plot. Really, the action, the whole ability to dictate what was going to happen, to dictate the circumstances, all fell on Jacob. Jacob is the one whose daughter was taken. Jacob is the one people tried to negotiate with and saying, look, why don't we become one people? Jacob doesn't seem to respond at all to the abduction, to the fact that they're negotiating and they're saying, you know what, let us marry her, let us intermarry as a people. We don't really see his response at all, and his sons step up. It's what I call acting by omission. When the person who should be making a decision, the person who should be implementing a choice, fails to do so, you basically leave a void for other people to step into. Others who very often don't have the same interests at heart as you do. And I look at this when I think about this, I think about 1967. Israel winds up winning a war they thought they were going to lose, and suddenly winds up with more territory, more people under their dominion than they expected to have. There's a whole question, what do they do now? Do they give the land back to Jordan and Egypt and Syria, who they took it from? Do they make it all part of Israel and bring everyone in and give citizenship to all the people who are living there? What do they do with this? Do they create a new nation out of those territories, create a Palestinian nation, which had never existed? So they could have done many different things, but they couldn't decide what they wanted to do. So they basically did nothing. They kind of left it as a status quo, kind of where everyone was in limbo. There was no decision made. So what happened? This population that was actually very positively disposed to Israel in 67, they were wondering, okay, are we going to be part of this nation? The nation seems to be doing pretty well. Our cousins who are part of Israel from 48 on, they seem to be doing better than we are. Okay, I guess we can try that. But they weren't made part of the nation. And like, okay, well, are we going to be given back? We're okay with that too, but they weren't given back. They were left in limbo. And what happened is those who were most aggressive in the population, there was a lot of infighting amongst themselves. And the people who were the harshest wound up taking control. Sort of like Shimon and Levi. They were the ones who were the most aggressive amongst the sons of Yaakov. Nobody else wanted to make a decision, so they're like, okay, we'll go and do it. We'll go kick some butt. We'll take this into our own hands. And that's largely what happened, I think, with the Palestinian community, is that no decision was made. They were left in limbo. There were those who wanted peace. There were those who wanted to fight. There were those who wanted to be returned to Jordan or Egypt. But those who were the most aggressive, there was tremendous infighting amongst Palestinians, tremendous killings, and Israel largely ignored it because, okay, well, let them kill each other rather than killing us. But what happened was those who were most aggressive, those who most wanted war, rose to the top. And we now find ourselves in this very difficult circumstances where it's hard to move toward a stage of peace because we don't feel there's a peace partner. We feel that those who live next to us want to destroy us. And wow, how can we give them weaponry? It's like, we can't bring them in. They don't want to be part of us anymore. So it's like when you don't make a choice, you are making a choice. It's just a choice of omission. And you're really passing your power to someone else.